If this is your first time, don't worry, you're not going to be behind. We make every lesson just like it could be a first lesson. But for those who were here last time, we're going to go over the extra practice. Last time we learned that EW says oo or you. So number 1 would say platu, platu. Number 2, blumpu, blumpu. Number 3, chuspru, chuspru. 4, shutabu, shutabu. Number 5, from danu, from danu. These look a little harder than they really are. And I'm going to teach you something today to make them even easier. But if you think of them as small little chunks, then they become a lot more easy. From danu, from danu. Number 6, thudu, thudu. Number 7, prun stew, prun stew. Number 8, clusumtru, clusumtru. Number 9, this first U on number 9 is going to make its long sound oo because there is a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. This U is going to say because there is not a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. And this EW is going to say oo. So this word is lutundru, lutundru. Number 10 is spluntru, spluntru. Easy words to be sure. So if you got some of those right, even one or even a part of one, then count that as a success because practice makes progress. Perfection not required. We did. So I'm reading a private message that says last time we went over the schwa sound. Oh, you're right. Okay. Swapped around. Thank you for telling me. That was you, schwa. That look better? Okay. Susan, give me a thumbs up if this looks better. Is this last time's? Okay. Number 1. So last time we learned that A at the end can make the schwa sound. The schwa sound is a. So number 1 is glutta. Number 2 is blumpa. 3 is chasupa. Number 4 is shutaba. Number 5 is drumada. Number 6, shatuda. 7, prana. Oh, look what I didn't do. Let me show you what I almost did. I didn't realize that there was a vowel 2 doors down. And so that means that U is going to say ooh. So let me try that one again. Prunastada, prunastada. Number 8, this U is also going to say U or oo because there's a vowel 2 doors down. This one's going to say because there's not a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. Same with this one. This one's going to say oo because there is a vowel. One or two doors down, and this A is going to say the schwa sound because it's at the end. And if you just followed that, then you are brilliant. You have the mind of Einstein. So this word is Klusumtruda. Klusumtruda. Number 9, Lutundra. 10, Glumutra. You guys are going to have to keep me on track today. First, I got the wrong lesson, and then I keep making mistakes. So you are going to keep an eye on the teacher today and make sure that I don't make any mistakes. Glumutra. Today's lesson are today is the OO in the middle of words can make the long U sound, oo, as in school, proof, trooper, tooth. But for now, we're going to get there in a minute. For now, let's warm up our brains by doing a phonemic awareness exercise, making sure that we separate each sound in a spoken word so that the print in written word will be much more clear. So put in the chat how many sounds in, don't think about the letters, it'll mess you up, only the sounds. How many sounds in thumb? Put it in the chat. How many sounds in thumb? Thumb. It helps if you really stretch it out. This is a hard one. I'm getting all sorts of answers. So when you stretch out that, I'm going to stop sharing so you can see how my mouth changes shape with every sound. Your mouth will typically change shape with every sound, and that's a hint or a clue as to how many sounds there are. Watch and see if you can see when my mouth changes shape. When it does, it will change sound. And see if that will help you count the sounds. The sounds in thumb are thumb. It changed shape 3 times. First, my tongue was between my teeth and I was blowing. Then my mouth was in a lazy shape with my tongue just hanging out in the middle. Then my lips came together. 3 sounds. Thumb. 3 shapes, 3 sounds. 3 sounds in thumb. 5 letters, but 3 shapes, 3 sounds. Okay, how many sounds in thunder? Also a hard one. There's 1 or 2 kind of hidden and sticky sounds in there. It will help you if you really stretch out the word like this. Thunder. Thunder. Put in the chat how many you think. I'm going to give you a hint. The hidden sound is right before the R at the end. It's so quick that it's hard to stretch and hang on to. Okay, so the sounds in thunder are d, That d is hard to hear because it's so fast. It goes from the N to the without being able to hold on to it. It's not a sustained sound. It's a very quick sound. All the other sounds you can hang on to. You can indefinitely sustain the sounds n, and but you can't sustain d, because that one gets hidden when it's right before an R like that. So there's 5 sounds. N, d, 5 mouth shapes, 5 sounds in thunder. And if you're having a hard time, don't worry. This is why we do this. We can exercise these skills every time, so they'll get a little bit easier every time. Okay, to kind of set you up for success with this last one, I don't want you to tell me how many sounds in mushroom. I want you first to tell me how many sounds in mush. Pay attention to the shape of your mouth. Mush. Put it in the chat. How many sounds in? They can all be sustained. Mush. Yes. Looks like every single person has got this one right. I love when that happens. Okay, so mush has 3 sounds. Sh. Mush. 3 shapes, 3 sounds. Mush. Now, how many sounds in room? Room. They can all be sustained, so there's no quick ones. You stretch it out, pay attention to the shape of your mouth, put it in the chat. Sounds in room. Yes, 3 sounds. You will be just fine, Richard. So, how many sounds in mushroom? Pretend that you're not adding up the math. Don't add up the math. Just now that you know how to separate the sounds, do it all at once. Don't add up the numbers. Say the sounds yourself. Thank you for having your video on. It really helps me to see the shape of your mouth while you're doing this. Yes, so there are 6 sounds. You knew that from the addition, but I wanted you to experience saying such a long word divided into its smallest phonemes. A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound within a spoken word, and this is called phonemic awareness. And it is phonemic awareness that is the most significant cause of reading difficulties. So I wanted you to experience how many sounds in mushroom, breaking it off yourself. We have sh, I wanted you to experience that success. Okay, come on down to the new rule. So this is U month that we are finishing up. And today's lesson is going to have a vowel team that makes the long U sound. When you see O in the middle of the word, it can say 2 different things. One of those sounds is the oo sound, as in room or school. It says ooh. It's the long sound of the U. Ooh. And I'll just tell you right now that there are some other words that you will see in OO in where the OO doesn't say ooh, it'll say as in look or book or took. That happens about 40% of the time. 60% of the time that OO is going to say ooh. It's a little more common. So in today's lesson, whenever you see that OO, you're going to say ooh, okay? So I'm going to just get to work here. Actually, let me stretch this out. So I'm going to mark my number 1, but I would like for you to do it right along with me. Everybody's muted, so they won't hear you. You can do this with me. So I'm going to circle this vowel team, and I'm going to mark it as a long U sound. Then I'm going to mark this A at the end that says That's marked by an upside down E. That's the schwa sound. Schwa sound is marked by an upside down E, and the schwa sound is And A will change to the schwa sound and say whenever it's the very last letter. So when I pencil read this word, it's k, oo, oopa, oopa. Now, before we try your number one, I wanted to tell you about this C and about this P. They are both voiceless sounds. There should be, when you're sounding out words with a hard C and a P, there can be no voice, only air that comes out. So it's not ka and it's not pa. Those are the incorrect sounds of those letters, even though some people might, even some well-meaning teachers might teach that the sounds are ka and pa, but they're doing a disservice to their students because it adds more sounds, and we're trying to clarify and organize those sounds. There's no at the end of the k and p sound, only air. They're voiceless, k and p. Also, the C is usually going to make its hard sound, which is k, k, k. You probably know that C also makes the S sound, s. That is only if there is an E, I, or Y after it. So if you have to guess, which you don't have to because you can just look at the next letter, that C is usually going to make its hard sound. So this word was kupa. Let's try yours. Go ahead and mark your vowels. Try it on your own. Yes, so when we pencil read it, we have t, oo, p, That T is also a voiceless sound. It's not ta. The sound for T is not ta. It's just t. So that word is tupa. Tupa. The first word of the day that you have never seen before, but you read correctly. Tupa. Well done. Excellent. Okay, coming over to my number two, you can do it with me. I'm going to circle my vowel team. I know the O in the middle of the word usually says the long oo, U sound, oo. And I know A at the end will make the schwa sound, So when I pencil read this word, I have d, r, oo, n, d, I'm going to go slow. Drunda. This is going to be the hardest sound to grasp right here. This N, that's the one you have to be careful and watch for. Drunda. Drunda. L's, R's, and N's are the ones that you have to watch out for the most. They cause the most reading errors. Drunda. Okay, try yours. Go ahead and mark it. I'll be quiet while you work. So when we pencil read this one, the F is a voiceless sound, only air. R, oo, n, d, Frunda. 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 All right, put in the chat, please, how you're doing so far. So I can gauge if I'm going too fast, too slow. If these are hard, if they're okay, if they're easy. Nice, Jackie. Good, Eric. I'll take that. I'll take that. All right. Excellent, Bertie. Nice. Okay. So far, so good. Nice, Isabel. Okay, so number 3, let me clear my page so you can see this better. So I'm going to circle all my vowels first. There's a U, There's a vowel team. And here's a vowel. I'm going to go mark them. So to mark that U, I have to look at the next two letters. That's the tap 2 rule. 1, 2. No, there's not another vowel there. So no, it's not going to say its name. It's going to make its short sound, It's regular sound, O is a vowel hack. It's a vowel team. The reading hack, I should say, is that it makes its long U sound most of the time, ooh. A at the end is also a super fun reading hack that not too many people know, but now you do. A at the end will always say It will make the schwa sound So when I pencil read this word, just a heads up, you see these two S's right here? You're only going to pronounce them one time. You don't have to pronounce them 2 times because they just mesh together. So I'm only going to put 1 dot there, even though there's 2 already there. So the sounds are G, O, S, U, N, And I'm going to connect the dots all in one breath. Glasuna, glasuna, glasuna. Now look at your fun one. I wish I had yours. Go ahead and try it. Mark your vowels. Eric, I want to hear your question. So after we do this, and I'd like for you to ask a question if you want. Be careful of the sound of that first U. It's going to say So this SH is a digraph. It makes one sound. It's going to only air, again, another voiceless sound. Shh. This U is going to say because there are 2 consonants after it. So if there's not another vowel, it's not going to say its name. It's going to say its regular short sound These 2 M's only need 1 dot. Your lips stay together when they make the M sound. Make sure you don't release your lips or an will come in. So the sound for M is not ma, it's We don't want any extra sounds coming into our word and making it more difficult. So there's the here's the long U sound, here's the oo, here's the p, and here's the Now that we've dotted each sound, our brain knows that it knows how to read this word. The hard part can be blending them together. So we can go slow. We can even go 1 grapheme at a time. Let's do that. Shka, shum, shamu, shamoop, shamoopa, shamoopa, shamoopa. I love how you're looking at the word as you are saying it out loud. That's brilliant. Okay, number 4. I'll go ahead and mark my vowels. So here is my double O that I know usually makes the long U sound. Here is a vowel with 2 consonants after it. When that happens, it's going to make it short sound. A at the end always makes the schwa sound. Now let me just go over these crazy little marks that I'm making. V stands for vowel. C stands for consonant. So if I have a vowel with a line over it, that means it says its long sound or its name. So if it had an A, it would be A. If it was an E, it would say E. If you have a slightly curved line that's called a brev, spelled weird, B-R-E-V-E, but it's called brev, and that means it makes its short sound. A, E, I, The long sounds, A, E, I, O, U, short sounds, A, E, I. Those are the most common. Those get the brev right here. And the upside down E is how you mark the schwa sound, Every vowel changes to the schwa sound in certain instances that we'll talk about. You have learned that the A will change to the schwa sound if it's the last letter. So when I go to pencil read it, here's another digraph. A digraph is 2 letters that makes 1 sound. So it gets 1 dot. Sh, oo, n, d, shunad, shunada, shunada. Go ahead, say it out loud while you read it. Make sure you say each sound while you're looking at the letter that makes that sound. That will really help your brain to make those connections and make reading cleaner and easier. So as you're reading this out loud, which is one reason why I want you to all be on mute, because that makes it a multi-sensory experience. If you can hear it, see it, and feel it as your pencil reading, that's 3 senses, which makes it just stick all the more strongly in your mind. Shunada. Did we say shunada? Okay, I think we're on yours. Go ahead and mark yours. Try saying it. Okay, so remember what I said about that C? It's usually going to make its hard sound unless there's an E, I, or Y after it. So this is k, o, oo, Lips stay together. P, Klumapa, 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 klumapa. Will you put in the chat how you feel about what you've learned so far? How are you feeling about what you learned in today's lesson and what you've, like, 1 word descriptor of how you're feeling? Okay, yay. I got a lot of, I'm doing okay. And I kind of hung in there. And then I finally got a really good. Number 3 was a tough one. You're right. Yeah, it's a bit scary because I'm giving you these words that you have never seen before in your life, right? You probably wish that I would just give you some normal words. Okay, I will. Let me give you a whole bunch of words in the chat right now that you can see this rule in action. So we have proof. Listen to the oo sound. Proof, troop, toothpick, school, moon, bloom, kangaroo, maroon. And then I spelled that right, maroon. Yes. So I have a few minutes now. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute or put them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you for making the time to come to class today and learn what you did. Every time you come, it'll get a little easier. I know it's hard, but you are smart and you can do this. So I invite you back next time.